Hello, my name is Erik Oehlenschlaeger. I'm the chair of the ILAC AIC and I come from the Danish accreditation body, DANAK. We've had the meeting, the first face-to-face meeting for 3.5 years here in Belfast in Northern Ireland, and for 2 days we have been discussing a number of topics. We've had our workshop on the ISO 17025, which was issued in 2017, and we discussed about the options A and B, about the compliance with specification, about sampling and uncertainty of sampling, and we also discussed about the other standard related to that, 15189, which has just been renewed and where we have a transition decided at the General Assembly last year. And due to the revision of that standard, we have also decided to revise ILAC G26 about setting up medical examination systems and how to work with the medical profession. When it comes to reference materials, we have had input on the standard ISO 17034, where we have decided to keep focus on education of the RMP. It is so that we don't have too many reference materials available around the world, and it would be nice to increase awareness about the importance of being an accredited RMP. In this working group, we also work with biobanks, and since ISO 17011 was issued, which is the standard for conformity for assessment for accreditation bodies, this standard does not specify the criteria for biobanks. Just in the past, it didn't either specify criteria for reference material producers, but now it's the biobanks missing. So we will develop how to describe scopes of accreditation for biobanks. In the area of proficiency testing for ISO 17043, we are in the same situation as with the 15189, that we will have a new standard within a month or two, and we have agreed at the last General Assembly also a transition period for 3 years. Further, this working group is composed of people from the past PTCS, which was a PT consultative group, and this committee or group was made a part of the ILAC AIC more than 10 years ago, and now we have decided to finish this integration so that all the members of this group now enters the database in the AIC. In the working group on metrology, we've had several issues for this meeting. First of all, we discovered that there might be a lack of understanding about reference materials and traceability to reference materials, and we had a survey produced about the availability of reference materials and also about recognition of reference materials. In the field of pharmaceutical, we have worked with the USP, the United States Pharmacopoeia, producer of reference standards for this pharmaceutical area, and we have decided that we will try to see whether it's possible to develop an annex to the ILAC policy P10 about traceability to reference materials. In this working group about metrology, we have also addressed the so-called digital SI and digital calibration certificates, DCCs. We have agreed that we will set up a sub-working group to monitor the development in this area and to see whether it might interfere with our processes in general. When it comes to scopes of accreditation, we have a working group dealing with these issues and the revision of ILAC G18, and this is also the working group that operates together with the working group in reference materials about the annex about biobanking. Besides that, another issue of interest has shown up and has been dealt with in the past and was discussed at this meeting, and that was whether when you mention a test standard in the scope of accreditation, whether you need to specify the year of standard. If we shall take the outcome of the meeting, we must say they are inconclusive in the sense that some think it should be there and some think it should not. However, those who think it should not be there also say there need to be conditions that needs to be fulfilled if you don't specify the year of the standard. It is not easy to prepare guidance about how and what you should do for these cases, so we have decided to remain silent for the moment being and to monitor this during time. When it comes to the last item we had about remote training, this is an example of that when time passes by, some problems disappear. There was a wish 2 years ago that we should try to develop guidelines about doing remote training. However, we have gone through this pandemic, we have managed to keep our work going on, and we have also found out that it's not so difficult to do remote training, and therefore we discontinued any work on an annex about remote training. Coming together again is a great thing. Sharing a coffee, seeing the interaction, see all the communication, talking to colleagues from other regions, from the other side of the globe. It's a great thing. I can only humbly say one thing, and that is I look forward to see you again in Montreal in November.